plan, Stan?
Get food, then write my song.
Should we... Oh, you want to get food now?
I don't mind.
Is the blizzard over?
Or we could order a pizza and get more work done. I'm worried. We have a fuck ton of work done today. Okay, great. Yeah, that's good.
In the middle of sophomore year, we started working on our first album, The Anomaly. Kyle had to come from his frat, drive to the dorm residences, pick all of us up individually. I remember he had to wait for us for like 20, 30 minutes at a time because some of us were really delayed. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Vishnu. It was a hectic process, but then eventually we would be stuck inside this dirty little dingy frat room.
It was a really cramped space, so we all kind of just had to manage the best we could.
It was anything but a comfortable arrangement because you know, the room was very unclean. There were clothes strewn all over. There might have also been a few bottles here and there.
He was basically living in a closet at the time.
Because that was the best we could make of the situation, as the rest of us were in university residences and we just didn't have the space for the kid.
It was stuffy, and then it ended up with a lot of laughs and a lot of screaming, I can tell you that much.
Boy, damn. What the fuck are you doing?
We were just all little kids. We didn't really have any prior experience, and we were just trying to create a good album.
We got together with a bunch of initial ideas, presented them to Kyle, just bounced these ideas off each other, and then those formed songs. And those songs eventually made it into The Anomaly, and that's what you hear.
We just kind of try to combine all the different ideas that we had. There were specific songs that really stood out to me during the Anomaly writing. Garden was one of them.
We were writing the Garden of Enigma, and Vishnu is just sitting there with this horrible look on his face, and he just asked Kyle,
Can you bring up the digits of pi?
Yeah, I guess so.
"For what kind of breakdown do you need pi?"
Oh, on the
Tasty
beats.
one. That's pretty cool though.
And then we all kind of came together and decided to just write and kind of build off of that continuously.
That's what I'm saying.
It was just a fun experience because we were all so into it and so into, you know, trying to create the best piece of art that we could, even though we were just starting to form. Another song that really stood out to me was Fade on the album we were writing. Fade was actually written while we were waiting for our bassist Vishnu to finish recording something else. We sent him in the room to record the second verse, The Traitor.
Kyle came up to me and he's like, "Hey, I want this verse to be just drum and bass. Can you sit down and write something for us?" So I was like, "Sure, why not?" And he also told me, "Write something unusual."
He was just in there for a while, so we were like, you know what, while we're out here, why don't we just write another song? So while we managed to finish the whole song, and then we went back in and we asked him, like, "Hey, well, what did you write? Like, show me what you got."
I thought I did a pretty good job writing it.
It's fucking brutal, right? It's fucking crazy ass brutal. Then look what he did. Listen to what he did. And then boom!
And this is stupid, like, it didn't make sense at all. This is like Jamaican riff over like this like scary breakdownish part that's creepy, and it just didn't make any sense. So we wrote an entire song while our bassist essentially did nothing in the side room of my fraternity. Classic.
My favorite song off The Anomaly is probably Clairvoyance. It's a melodic song, but it also has this underlying like heavy, sludgy element to it. You can hear that in the breakdown. You can hear that in the intro, right after the clean guitars finish.
That song was kind of a jam session on a few leads Kyle had sitting around for a few months while we were working on the Anomaly. He was struggling with this rhythm guitar part. I was struggling with this lead guitar part I was working on for this 9x8 intro for the song, and we ended up just deciding to switch during the writing session, and everything just started coming together after that.
And then from then on, we wrote the breakdown, we wrote the chorus, pretty much the entire song in one day.
Oh, I did the same. I did the whole thing.
The writing experience in general was, I wasn't sure how to really approach it, because unlike a lot of my other bandmates, I felt like my idea of metal was pretty limited. Eventually it did kind of grow, and just one of these times when I truly came to enjoy what we did was when I first heard Kyle's orchestral section for Behind a Mask. Initially I was like, how would that sound? I mean, who has ever put a violin in a metal or a rock song? When I heard it, I'd completely lost it. I never thought I could encounter orchestral elements in metal music, and this kind of gave me a more eye-opening experience towards music in general.
Samsara was another key one on the album. That was another time we all came together and wrote a song for the Anomaly, and that was really fun. That was maybe one of the first times that I hadn't really been very frustrated writing a song, but it was just kind of a smooth, clear process from start to finish. We all kind of just came together, sat down, and wrote section after section. And we would just have we would just kind of experiment and flow wherever we wanted to go. We kind of took the limits off. We said we don't have to have any specific structure. We don't have to have anything that needs to go here and needs to be here. We would just flow from section to section like classical music, and we would build until the song was done, essentially. I think we spent 2 major big days writing it, and we would just order pizza, continue writing, and we just had a blast doing it, and it was a lot of fun.
A seemingly poisonous bouquet. No, didn't like that. Recording was a very interesting process because I really didn't know how to sing that much.
Ron came to the band with more experience in the nu metal kind of era and more experience with the heavy kind of screaming vocals, and he wasn't as experienced with the traditional power singing that you generally see in metalcore and hard rock. So he had a bit of a learning curve to get where he really needed to be.
Kyle gave me a lot of great tips on how to sing and how to use my voice and how to take care of it. And honestly, I'm extremely grateful for him alone just teaching me how to sing, because I wouldn't be shit if it weren't for that guy. Is that it? Whisper gently, Ashen Princess, whisper. Okay, let's do it.
You have to click it on the fucking. There you go. Click it. No, like a man would. Click it. Yeah, click it like a man, bro.
It's not. I'm clicking it like.
He took a lot of time and he worked really hard on improving where he was at. And from where he is today on Descent, you can really see he's shown an insane amount of progress. The Anomaly was a name that we came up with because we figured that this album has so many different types of genres and different types of music in it that putting all of these together was kind of an anomaly in the hard rock and metal genres. Like, no one expected this to be as good as it was. It was an anomaly. So the anomaly, in another sense, is also that our music was better than what people expected it to be.
We hit it off fairly well, but I'd say we became really good friends near the end of the Anomaly writing session.
We spent a lot of time with each other, both in trying to perfect our instruments, kind of working together on guitar and bass, working together on tone, working together on vocals, and that kind of brought us together a lot.
We really started hammering it in with all of the inside jokes and all the nicknames and all that.
They were like people I genuinely like to spend time with, and by the end of the recording process of that album, we became like really good friends. I'm so sorry. Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm fucking.
They want me to snap this bullshit because they look. Oh, they're crowded. That's funny. That's so funny.
This shit's pretty technical.
What? What happened?
You tell me, man. You don't have to do this. You're crazy, bro.
What happened?
You crazy, man.
Hey, Rohan, what happened?
Talking like me, you're the man. Like, you're crazy.
What happened, Rohan? What happened? What'd you do?
I got outsmarted by the fucking snack.
Joining this band was the first time I really felt like I had a family outside my family, I guess. You know, that brotherly love or whatever you want to call it.
Overall, The Anomaly was a really well-rounded, diverse album.
I'm really proud of us for what we accomplished with that.
It completely exceeded the expectations of what I could make with any kind of band at Purdue, especially as our first album.
For a first album, you know, most bands come out and do EPs, and we decided let's come out strong with an album. And I think we really held our own because it got a lot of attention.
I couldn't be happier with how it turned out.
It has a lot of complexities that most people won't really pick up on a first listen. And a lot of the songs have these really cool and interesting vibes, or at least from what I've heard.
Like those songs, they reflect what I was going through and, you know, what I was thinking and what kind of music I liked at the time.
We weren't trying to sort of take the menacing aspect out of metal music, but we were also trying to, you know, add a few more distinguishing features to it.
The Anomaly kind of starts off light and then kind of gets into this really heavy section and then transfers back to this kind of more experimental, kind of lengthened mix of everything. That's something that I will always forever remember is the flow of The Anomaly and the different elements that kind of went into each song.